Good afternoon. Welcome to Simpler Trading, Simpler Futures, post-market update, May 31st, Wednesday, last day of May. Check this out. Well, before we get going, if you see this early enough tonight, you go to simplertrading.com, register for this webinar that we're having tonight, 7 o'clock Texas time, Chicago time, 7 o'clock Central. Jonathan McKeever, Trendy John, going to do webinar tonight on his approach, which is supply and demand trading. He's really good. Highly encourage you consider checking that out. Even if you can't be there tonight, still go here and sign up, because what you'll do is put your email address in there. It'll register you to receive a recording of the webinar after the fact. So you don't actually have to be there live. It's going to be recorded and you can get a recording of it after. So here we are. Last day of May. So let's say, how did it go? Well, I don't know. Let's see. How did it go? May opened 41.90, closed today 41.90. Seriously, look, I'm not even kidding. What is it here? 489 maybe or something. Close. Yeah, 89. So that's scratch for May. Did nothing. It was a little higher, a little lower, but it accomplished nothing. At the end of the day, that's a flat month. But take a little middle kind of snapshot image of what we're looking at here. That's overlap and choppy. It's arguably maybe a little bit sideways to higher, but it's really sideways. But not true here in the Dow. Look at the Dow. The Dow put in its high on May the 1st, and it's been nothing but lower highs since. In fact, it opens May the 1st at what price does it open? 34,216. Today, it closed 32,000, so call it 33,000. 32,900 actually. 32,900. So that's obviously lower. Loss of, and by the way, the Dow is actually negative on the year too. Slightly, it's almost scratched, but it's really it's down a little bit. S&Ps are up like 9.5%, and the Nasdaq is in the moon and the stars, the stratosphere, and just kind of carried away. The Russell can't get out of bed, can't seem to get off its back. It's just sideways to lower, and then we have this picture. This picture is the Nasdaq, and that is nothing but lower left to upper right. It is on a mission. But we have a little issue here. Wednesday of last week to the high there was 100 points in the S&Ps. It's 1,000 points in the Nasdaq. That's insane. It's not sustainable. I mean, a normal ATR equivalent would be 400, maybe 5 on an upper average. It's between 4 and 5 to 1 on the Nasdaq to ES. So let's say 500, okay? Well, that's 1,000, so that's 2 times a high ATR equivalent in keeping sort of a normal spread with the ES. Additionally, yesterday opens at 14.5, closes at 14.4. So it was a high for the move made on selling. That's a bearish, we call it a throw over top or an excess. It's a setup that doesn't matter if it's a 5-minute candle or a daily candle. It doesn't matter. It's a setup, just a chart pattern that says breach the low of that candle, and it triggers a short against the high as risk, and then you go find your target. Well, I think the target would be this consolidation right here on this, what is showing to be a pretty decent little kind of trend line there, automatically drawn by TradeStation, but still not bad. And that would be 13.8. Okay, and then that's 13.8, and then back here to where it started, which is 13.6. So I like 13.8 and 13.6 as targets for the Nasdaq. That to me looks like a short. And why not? It's the end of May, and we've got until, supposedly from all these geniuses that are running this clown show, they're saying we've got until the end of the first week of June or something, miraculously they can figure that out. But to come to a deal. So my point is, why would you make a deal now if you know you've got another week to argue and and try to get more for your side or whatever, right? So this could be bearish. And I mean, I'll say it this way, it's darn sure too high on all the metrics I just shared with you. It's too high to buy, right? You don't want to buy this thing up here, no way. So alternatively, you can sit tight and wait for a retrace, or you can sell it for the retracement. So I'd look for at least 41.50, maybe 41.35 in the ES, and 13.8 and 13.6 on the Nasdaq. That's what it looks like to me. So that's where I'm at, and that's why. And look, it's the only thing here in the equity space that is actually amounting to anything. We just proved it. We looked at May opened and closed at the same price in the ES. The Dow is lower. The Russell, you know the story. It can't get off its back. Obviously, that's lower. The Nasdaq's the only one that's keeping it alive. So, nah, it's got to breathe. You got to let this thing breathe. Targets are 13.8 and 6, 41. Call it 50 and 35 in the ES. I mean, at least, 41.35 in the ES. The Dow is a pretty good looking short. I mean, it's doing nothing but making lower highs. So, and the Russell, of course, too. So, and hey, if you don't like the idea of selling the strongest thing on the board, the Nasdaq, that's fine too. You can just let it be the guide, right? It triggered short. So let it be the guide. As long as it's making now lower highs, well then clearly you could be short the Dow and the Russell, right? Anyway, hopefully that helps. That's what I got for you tonight. And I'll look forward to hopefully can join us in the webinar tonight, 7 o'clock, Chicago Central. And until then, good trading.
Without simpler trading, I could not have financial independence.
This is one of the best investments I ever made in my life.
It's helping me find consistency.
It's one of the things that won me